trips are a fun time. I think it's awesome driving. Be honest with you, most people wouldn't like driving halfway across the country or across the country, but I actually quite enjoy it. I don't know why. I just like driving in general, and I don't get that either. But I like it. Most people don't, but I do. I think I could, if somebody asked me to do that for a living, say drive all the way here for 4 hours, then drive back home. I think I'd be totally fine with it.
What about being somebody's driver?
No, I don't think I'd like that. No, it's nice to be solitary so you can chill and do your own thing.
Maybe you just like to drive because you like to be the one that's in control.
Well said. Well, one of the cool things that I like doing when we make our yearly, bi-yearly, I don't know how often we make our way up to Michigan or anything, but whenever we try to get up there, I always want to hit it the most ballparks. I'm pretty obsessed with ballparks for some reason. And one of my main...
It's because he's obsessed with sports.
One of my main goals was trying to see some of these old-time stuff. I'm also into that. I'm kind of weird about this stuff, too. Like, I'm into, say, there's some really, really famous ball player, some famous actor, gravesite. I don't know why, but I like that. I think that's kind of neat, seeing the gravesite that, hey, Buddy Holly actually he's right there, kind of. His remains are there. He's kind of there. But I kind of like that stuff. I like seeing historic things like that. And one of these historic things I like seeing is I've always wanted to see is the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. My dad took my buddy PJ and I to a movie back in the day called A League of Their Own. Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, go on and on. And it was a really, really cool movie. And I don't know if at the time I realized it or not. Maybe my dad told me, but it was based on a true story. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League's a true story.
I didn't know that was a true story.
I mean, it's based on a true story. It's fictional characters, and like the Rockford Peaches is what it's based on. They didn't really even make it to the finals that year. Racine, the Bells, they did win, but they beat, I think it was South Bend.
But these teams existed.
Yeah, they absolutely existed. Yeah, absolutely. And over the overhand pitching instead of slow pitch, or not slow pitch, I'm sorry, fast pitch softball that we're seeing underhand right now these days.
Oh, okay.
I love softball. I covered softball for a long time, and I loved it. I'd love to see it go professional. Women are really trying to fight their way into kind of those earnings. It's going to be tough for them because obviously the attraction isn't there like it is for men's sports. But I'm rooting for them. I'd love to see a professional softball league. I know we have one here in Houston. I know there is one going on, but it is not nearly as popular. I'm sure not a lot of people know about it. But we actually do have a team here in Houston.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a fast pitch softball team, and I haven't. Be honest with you, I've never seen a game. It's out in the Woodlands, near the Oak Ridge, Conroe area. But it's nothing like what we saw on here. I mean, this was a pretty big deal back in the day. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. They had teams in Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and some horrible state called Michigan.
Oh, whatever.
And
he meant to say the great state.
And they also had one in Minnesota. One team in Minnesota, but I don't think we're going to be able to make that one stop over Minnesota because there's a lot of stops here. I think Wisconsin had the Racine Bells, Kenosha Comets, Milwaukee Chicks. Illinois had the Rockford Peaches. Chicago Colleens, Springfield Sallies. I'm going to say this one wrong. Peoria. They're going to kill me for this one. The Red Wings. Those are the Illinois teams. Indiana, they had South Bend Blue Sox. Fort Wayne Daisies. And at Michigan State, they had the Grand Rapids Chicks. Muskegon Lassies. Did I say Muskegon right?
You did. You said it right.
Kalamazoo Lassies. I say that right?
Yeah.
Battle Creek Bells. And the Muskegon Bells. Muskegon had two teams.
Oh, wow.
Well, they were at the same time, obviously.
Right, but still.
And Muskegon, you can see Bells. You heard Bells a few times in there, right?
Yeah.
Racine Bells won the first ever championship. They folded, or they didn't fold. They moved to Battle Creek.
Okay.
I think they were there for 1 or 2 seasons, and then they finally finished in Muskegon. So it's the same franchise, just moved a couple of different times. League actually didn't even last that long. It's a shame, to be honest with you. But as you can see, that it's just that area that they had it in.
And the women, they started this because the men were at war.
Right, right. Yeah, they
That
started
was
it.
the basis of the movie for those of you who haven't seen it. I've seen it 100 times with my husband and 100 times probably with my dad. So,
Good movie. Good movie. I just watch it probably every time it comes on for some reason.
yeah, and I
Takes
think
me
my
back.
dad did that when we were growing up. He'd put on every time that came. I'm like, come on, Dad, this one again?
It's
And
very nostalgic. It's fun to watch. If it doesn't take you back to the times of maybe watching the movie or thinking about the times back then, it definitely takes you back to your time of when you first saw the movie or when it was popular. And you think back to that time frame. I know I did. I do. I was in grade school when that happened. I was in, I think, second or third grade when that movie came out. So a lot of good memories there. A lot of good memories. But I think it would be cool to take a road trip and see these places.
on the way, huh?
I'm sure we can't hit all those places I mentioned, but I would love to see a couple of these fields, most notably Bayer Stadium.
Now, do these fields still exist?
That's the
I
problem.
mean, what year? What
No.
year was that?
A lot of them don't. A lot of them have been converted to. I think one of them that I was looking up had been converted from a not softball field. I'm sorry, a girls' baseball field to a minor league baseball field.
Oh, okay.
I think there was just one of those, and there might be multiple ones. But I've done a little bit of research on it as I was looking it up, and no, there's really not any of these left. But the area of where it is still there. It's
Right.
kind of like, I don't know.
So basically, you want to go to the softball field's gravesite.
Yes, yes. See, I'm into grave sites. But this one that I was just mentioning, Bayer Stadium, this is where the Rockford Peaches played, and that was the main basis of the team around a league of their own. They actually still have their ticket booth, the original ticket booth of where they got the tickets.
Oh.
So that's cool. They still have a piece of the property or whatever it is there that you can at least go and say, hey, cool. People used to get tickets here to watch women's professional baseball. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of more here. I mean, sometimes they played at a high school. See here, they played at some stadiums that don't even they don't even come up on the internet anymore. Anything, like nothing. But I also like, and if we can, I'll search for that a little bit more too. But this one, I really kind of find it near and dear to my heart because of watching that stuff growing up and always wanting to do that. So that's what I would try to hit. But there's also minor league parks. There's also major league parks over the years that you kind of see people preserve. There's actually a major league. I'm sorry. It was. I don't know if it was a minor league team or what it was, but it's like a furniture store downtown Houston that they have, and they had it. Man, I can't remember where it was, and I can't remember the name of it, but we used to go there when I was younger, and it was a baseball field at one point. And what they did inside the store is they actually had I don't know if it was original home plate, but they had where home plate was.
Oh, that's cool.
In the
Yeah.
store. So obviously it was like a showroom, but they
Right.
had home plate there and said this is where the home plate was at the time. And I know that Shea Stadium has that in New York, and I know lots of people try to preserve that as much as they can. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because I think it'd be fun. To be honest with you, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll hit on it, and I wanted to say that eventually we're going to put that up. I'm going to try to show them. I'm going to try to get a video of you and I looking at it, checking it out, and kind of put it on this
What it
channel.
looks like.
Yeah, kind of put it on the channel and see our little adventures there. So join us for that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of like major league stadiums on past trips and a lot of AAA or minor league stadiums up north and on the way. So that was always fun. I like to check out more of that too.
This will be another checklist, so we're going to bring that to you as soon as we possibly can. Hopefully we'll be able to do that for you, but that's next on our bucket list. And cut.